Yo, what is up guys? What's up with everybody? I saw that a lot of you guys like my previous video of Mohamed Salah. If you have not seen that one yet, be sure to click above and you can watch that after this video, of course. Today I'm going to make a little bit of a different video. Today I'm going to make a Pluto comes back to his planet video. It's not a football related video, but no worries. I'm just going to show you all the techniques that you will need, and all the source files will be available in the description down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to stay notified about future videos, because I'm going to do a heck load in this coming month. Be sure to stay tuned for that, and hit that like button if you like this content. And leave a comment down below what you guys want to learn, because I love your feedback. I absolutely love it, and I would love to know what you guys want to learn from me. So at first I've got like this 2D picture of Pluto, and I'm just going to go around of all the shapes I can find and I'm going to fill it in with textures later. So to trace every shape you can simply use a pen tool. That's the most efficient way to do this. Just go around every edge you can find and you got it. But literally every edge. So this is it when every shape is traced. This took me a heck long of time, but let's right now fill in all the shapes with some different textures. And I think this texture is pretty nice, and let's just apply that to every single shape, but in different kind of forms, of course. Alright, to fill this in with the fur, you just simply need the texture. The texture will be in the description down below. Then use a warp tool to really match the shape to its shape. So right now we've got the body kinda right, but of course this looks really weird, and right now let's just apply some shadows to make it really stand out. So the way to do this is really just to use an exposure layer and really boost down the exposure to make a shadow, to make a highlight. Just boost up the exposure and do this for every single layer. So I think right now his body looks quite nice, but of course the real Pluto is like orange and this one is like a little bit beige, so we just have to make some adjustments to that real quick. So to change something's color, you simply use a hue and saturation layer, use colorize and choose the color you want to use. So right now the colors kind of match. So right now we have to make some more highlights and shadows to really make it 3D. And by the way guys, I'm just going to take you along to this journey of how to do that. So let's just start with the shadow right here on this paws and the highlight that you have right here. So the way to do that is just find your left leg layer. Of course you've got a lot of layers right now. Turn the visibility of the upper Pluto off. Let's make an exposure layer and let's begin with the shadows. You see it's really dark right now, so this is about right. Let's clip it. Let's make it a clipping mask. Alright, so it's only affecting the layer that is below it. So let's right now take a brush about this size, should be fine. Let's turn around the layer. You can do that with Ctrl I or Command I, and let's start painting some shadows. You see, it immediately gives like a video picture, and let's right now do the same for a little highlight. Bump the exposure up, about this should be fine. Let's clip it with a clipping mask. Let's invert the mask and let's start painting some beautiful highlight. So you see, it immediately gives a pretty good feeling, you know. And right now we have to do it for everything. So right now let's use the exposure tool for every single layer. It will give so much depth and make it really stand out from the rest. It will give a really nice 3D look to everything. And that's something that you really need with these artworks. So right now I think this body of Pluto looks pretty nice. So let's right now move on to the next part of him, which will be the color. So for his color I used a picture that I found online. It will be available in the description down below. So simply just cut out the color. I used just a layer mask and the brush tool for this. And then of course Pluto's color is, so just use a UN saturation layer like with the fur and just change its color to green and you're good to go. So right now we have to do the whole process that we did for the main body to his face as well. Of course this can take a really long time if you want to do it right. So for his tongue, I found this little image of this dog. I just cut out the tongue with a layer mask and my brush tool. It's really easy, and to really match shape to the shape of Pluto's mouth, I used the warp tool again, and then at the end I used a little bit of liquify to really make it perfect. So for his eyes, I found this texture of like the blood veins in your eyes. Of course you have to adjust this because we don't want it to be like all over his eyes, we only want it on the edges. So we did that with a layer mask and just a brush tool. I also made some shadows around the eyes so it looks like a round effect on it, and that's what we really want. For his pupils, I just found this image online. I think it really helps. I just used the shade that I traced earlier and I just gave it this effect, and I also gave it a little sparkle in the eye to really bring it to life. I use an exposure layer for this. So for his ears and nose, I used this leather texture and just applied every single thing on it again, like the exposure technique for the shadows and the highlights, really important. And for his nose, I made a little flare using the exposure layer as well. As the tail, I used the same stock file. So Pluto is a dog and he obviously has hair all around the place, and we don't really see that right now. And to really make this effect, we can just use this brush. If you can't find it in your brush library, simply go to your options, choose legacy brushes, and it should appear right in your library. With this brush you can boost your artwork with this effect. It's really helpful and it's a really easy technique to do it. So right now our main Pluto is done and we're just going to put him back on his planet, and we're just going to shape a nice environment for him. This part I did in the speed art because this was just no way that I was going to begin with explaining all this, because I used all of the techniques from earlier, like the shadows. You can watch my previous videos for that if you want to look at it in depth, or you can just post a comment down below if you don't really understand it yet, and I'm really happy to explain it to all of you guys. And all the rest is just kind of masking and choosing the right option. I also added a rocket because I thought that would give a pretty nice extra to it as well, and it kind of worked. And at the end, just apply a very nice camera filter. You do that by just going around every slide that you can find and just see what's best. And this is it, guys. This is my Pluto comes back to his planet artwork. I hope you guys really like this visual. I hope you guys really like this tutorial. If you want me to do any more of these, just leave a like on this video and I will do another football tutorial this week. So please stay tuned for that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you want to learn in the comments down below, because I will do a video about that and I love to get feedback from you guys. And I will see you guys later.